Brinkley sets up a separate financial institution. They then at that point give dealers, let's say, $500,000 of available floor plan, no principal payment. So basically, they can keep the inventory on the lot for as long as they want, as long as they make the interest payments. They don't have to pay down the inventory. And in exchange, you have to carry, let's say Brinkley went to a single axle 12995 trailer, like a Coleman. Then, sorry, you have to carry that if you have our floor plan, right? So on and so forth. So what that would do, now that would put the manufacturers in a bind, like Brinkley, like Genesis Supreme, like Alliance, like a lot of these independent manufacturers that are not part of a corporation. It would put them in a bind because now that interrupts cash flow. Now your cash flow is dependent upon principal payments every month and dependent on the dealer to turn the inventory quickly. So that would also piss off dealers, because what would happen at the end of the day is you'd have to get rid of minimum advertised pricing, or MAP pricing, because at that point, cash flow is now interrupted. So now your gross profit margin at the dealership level is going to severely be impacted. You're going to have to do some kind of rebate program for the dealers. It's not easy. So if they actually create their own floor plan and create the infrastructure for their own inventory loans to put dealerships back on the map and be able to continue to build and incorporate and keep costs down on dealership cash flow, the gross profit margin is going to go to hell. Because now what's going to happen is, let's say you charge 8% on a $70,000 fifth wheel loan, and 8% is a lot of money, guys. So if you have 8% on an RV loan over 20 years is different than an 8% inventory loan. It's very different how it's calculated. It's very different how the payment structure goes. Like, I'll give you an example. You could have 50 pieces on the lot, and your interest payment could be anywhere between $15,000 and $35,000, depending on how your structure is at the bank. So you have to realize that over the course of time, it's not a very big profit center for the manufacturer. It's basically to put inventory on the lot, on the ground, because you have, and I can't mention the banks because I've been kind of sworn to secrecy about it, but there are 4 banks that are going to pull out of the boat and RV industry when it comes to inventory loans. Not you going and buying an RV. They're not going to pull out of that. They're not going to pull out of you buying a car. They're going to pull out of you buying a boat. They're strictly going to pull out of giving dealerships a credit line to buy inventory. We are seeing this already started to occur in the car industry over the last 3 years. We already have seen it in the power sports industry over the last 2 years. Now it's finally affecting RVs and boats. And that's because, again, like I said in the previous live stream before the microphone cut off because I got a phone call, it's because the lending institutions that are giving out this money to put this inventory on dealership lots do not find it profitable and are claiming that they are losing a significant amount of money.